In the last lecture, we learned that chemistry studies matter. However, matter includes all sorts of substances. In order to study them, we need to make sure we can describe each one and to distinguish one from another. In chemistry, the things that we can use to describe or to identify a substance are called properties of that substance. What are they exactly? Quickly, we will see examples of properties of substance, and you will learn that, oh yeah, these are the things that we can use to describe or to identify a substance. But before that, let me make this clear. Chemistry, the field of chemistry resembles a lot humans to human society. The more you learn chemistry, in this class, for example, you will continuously to realize that, oh, wow, the behavior of substances really like the behavior of people. For example, if you are asked to describe a person to your audience, naturally you will come up with a set of things to talk about. You may tell other people the gender of that person, the skin color of that person, the hair color of that person, the height, and so forth. You may go one step further to talk about the personality of that person. Okay, some hobbies of that person, whether that person likes sports or not, whether that person is good at something or not. So those are things naturally you will talk about. You will describe a person to other people, and for other people, even they have not met that person before, they will have some sort of knowledge of that person. Well, in chemistry, when you describe a substance, you will use a set of things that you will talk about so that people, after learning this about substance, have some sort of understanding of that substance. Each substance has a unique set of properties that distinguishes itself from others. Let's look at a few examples. Okay, the first one, water is colorless liquid. Oh, the color of something is a property of that substance. Makes sense. Different substances may have different colors. It boils at 100 degrees Celsius at 1 atmospheric pressure. Oh, the temperature a liquid boils is a property. Makes sense. Different liquids may boil at different temperatures. Petroleum can be burned and produce energy. Oh, whether something can be burned or not is a property. Whether something can undergo some sort of changes is a property. Makes sense? Now here, let's focus on the two examples. Let's look at the differences between the two examples we talked about. Okay. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. To observe that, water is changed from liquid to gas. However, once the temperature cools down, those water vapor will become liquid water again, which means you didn't change the water itself, you changed the state that water stays. So water can be formed again from its vapor. In order to observe that property, you don't have to change the identity of the water, you only change the physical state of it. However, to observe the second property, petroleum can be burned. Now, once petroleum is burned, they are not petroleum anymore. You stop burning, you're not going to see petroleum anymore. These two examples represent two different kinds of properties. They are called physical and chemical properties. Physical properties are the characteristics or properties that can be observed without changing the identity of the substance. Clearly, the physical properties we talk about water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. That is a physical property. There are other physical properties under this category, like color, odor, physical state, melting point, boiling point, how hard the hardness of a substance. All these properties, you can observe them without changing the substance. Chemical properties, however, are characteristics that can only be observed once the substance goes through those changes. Okay, whether something can be burned or not, you need to burn them. Try to burn those substances to observe it. Once you know, okay, this substance can be burned, then that substance will be changed into other things. New substances will be formed. Once you confirm, yeah, something can be burned. These kinds of properties are called chemical properties. Well, let's have a quick chat to see if we can use what we learned to identify whether a property is a physical or a chemical property. A marshmallow gets black when roasting it in a campfire. Okay, a marshmallow gets black. You know, once it gets black, it will not turn back to the original marshmallow. So it changes to something else. The black stuff is not the original marshmallow. So it is a chemical property. Zinc is a solid at room temperature. Oh, we can observe that. We don't need to do any change to see whether zinc is a solid or not. So it is a physical property. Remember, anything talking about the physical states, liquid, solid, gases, anything talking about the physical states is physical property. When rubbing alcohol is rubbed on your skin, it evaporates very quickly. Oh, that's a physical change. Alcohol is a liquid. Once it is rubbed on your skin, it evaporates, it becomes gases. It is talking about different physical states. Okay, it is a physical property. We have talked about the properties of matter. Now let's talk about the changes in matter. There are actually two kinds of changes. The first one is called physical change. A physical change is a process that changes the appearances of substances, but not their chemical identity. Okay? Like the boiling of water. Okay? In the process of boiling water, water becomes water vapor. It changes the physical states, it stays, but whether it's in liquid state or gas state, it's the same water. Okay. Chemical change is a process in which a substance becomes something else. It changes chemical composition. Keep in mind that a physical change will never produce a new substance. A new substance is never formed as a result of physical change. The example here, no surprise, boiling or freezing water. Okay, in all of these processes, either boiling or freezing water changes between liquid, solid, gases. However, the chemical composition is the same in all three states. The physical properties, chemical properties, physical changes, chemical changes, guaranteed will be in the exam or in the quizzes. Remember, state changes are always physical. If you see a question talking about the three states or the changes between the three states, guaranteed it is physical. Remember that. Chemical change. Chemical changes always produce new substances. After the change, if the original substance itself becomes something else, that is a chemical change. Combustion of petroleum in car engine, the gasoline in the engine after the combustion, they become carbon dioxide and water. It's not petroleum or gasoline anymore, so that's a chemical change. Again, a chemical change always produces new substance or new substances. A quick summary of what I have learned today. We have learned properties and changes. We have one kind of properties changes are called physical. Okay, for some of us, it may be a little confusing at the beginning to identify is it this a change or property. That's not critical as long as you can identify it is physical. So this slide summarizes the physical properties and physical changes. And these are the most common things you will see in the exam or quiz. And this is the summary of the stuff that belongs to chemical, be it chemical properties or chemical changes. Let's have a quick check. Which one is the example of chemical change? Well, instead of doing that, let's go through the list to identify each case, whether it's physical or chemical. So number one, pulverizing rock salt. Pulverizing. Pulverizing means you make something into fine powder. Okay, so rock salt, whether it's rock or fine powders, it is still salt. So that is a physical change. Burning of wood. Oh, okay. Once the wood is burned, it's not wood anymore. That's a chemical change. Dissolving of sugar in water. Dissolving of sugar in water. Oh, this may be a little confusing in the beginning. You may claim that well, once you dissolve sugar in water, it disappears. It changes to something else. No. Sugar didn't change to something else. It just cannot be seen with your eyes anymore. So sugar hide behind water molecule. You cannot see them. Sugar is still sugar. How do you know that? You taste it, it is still sweet. That's sugar. Once all the water evaporates, you're going to see the sugar particles again. They have nowhere to hide. So this is a physical change. Melting, or I don't even need to finish the sentence. Melting is a physical process, changes between states. Melting, evaporating, freezing. Okay, all of those are changes between different states. Is a physical change.